I'm going to show you a video in a minute. But before I do, this is going to sound morbid. But I am glad that my wife and I are at the stage of life that we are in our current period of time. I'm going to be 53. She's going to be 50 this year. We have, 20, maybe 30 good years left. Most of our years are behind us. So there is a good chance that we might not have to spend too much time in a world that is run by these fucking people. Excuse me, I have to tell the Blue Jay to shut the fuck up. I love watching those Blue Jays and Cardinals come down, but those goddamn Blue Jays, they are loud as fuck. And I like having my window open on nice days, and I've got the tree right outside my window. It's lovely, especially in the spring and coming up here when it's going to bloom. It's fantastic. Right outside the office window. That motherfucker just whack, whack. Anyway, okay, sorry. Back to what we were talking about. I'm glad we're not going to have to live in a world that is dramatically altered by people like I'm going to show you in this video coming up here, because what you're going to see in this video is an insane display of open embracement of white nationalism, white power, isolationism, religious theocracy, pretty much some pretty at least what's supposed to be anti-American viewpoints being espoused by young people. Just watch this insanity.
What's the problem with xenophobic nationalism? Don't you think that's better for Americans in general?
Like xenophobic nationalism is better.
We should have a coherent culture. Everyone should be a part of the same culture. We should have assimilation.
Which, do you get to choose what the culture is?
We already have a dominant culture.
What is
based
the
on
dominant
European
culture?
and Christian values and identity. That is the dominant culture.
White
It's
Christian-
rooted in European identity.
White, so your argument is
that has been the dominant culture.
Just to be
and
clear,
we're not letting people assimilate to that. We're saying you should keep your culture, and this is why our culture is so divided.
Your argument is that Trump is good for those who want a dominant white European culture.
I mean, that is what America is. It's rooted in European identity and Christian values. That's what it has been. Would you really disagree with that? What is it then, if that's not the identity of America?
Well, I think the identity of
For the
America...
majority of time, America's been a country. You don't think that's been the identity?
Well, actually, no. I think actually the identity of America has been, for better or for worse, a melting pot in that regard.
Yeah. Maybe since the 1960s. Even then, even we had this idea of a melting pot. Literally means assimilation too. It means melting. It means you're assimilating to the dominant culture. Is that not what melting means?
No, it doesn't
and now
mean
instead we're saying there's something wrong with xenophobia.
Culture. No. I mean, look, I got to be honest with you. You and I have a fundamental disagreement. We will never see eye to eye on this. It's a choice. And I think what you're expressing, though, is really what the Trump movement at its heart is about. And I think that's problematic.
I disagree. I don't think Trump's anywhere close to being a Christian nationalist. That's ridiculous. Trump's basically a Democrat from 15 years ago when it comes to social issues.
So you don't think that he's conservative enough for you?
Oh, definitely. Nowhere close. No.
He's not xenophobic enough for you?
No, he's trying to pour a bunch of H-1Bs. Are you kidding?
Right. Oh, so you want to get them out too? Yeah. No, I think you're making my argument for me.
I mean, holy shit, man. Where do you start? First of all, no, when you melt all together, one doesn't dominate. That's the whole fucking point of melting together. You no longer have whites and browns and blacks and this and that and this. You all melt together into one. So automatically you have no fucking clue what melting is all about. And no, we haven't been a melting pot since the 60s. We've been a melting pot since the beginning. Did they not teach you kids history? Did they not show you the images of people pouring into this country? on boats seeing the Statue of Liberty for the first time. My grandfather is one of them. The shorter gentleman with the hat on, the white collared shirt. That is my mother's father. That is my maternal grandfather. His name, Thomas Gaetano LaFura. He was born Gaetano LaFura in Sicily and immigrated here when he was a young man. Not even double digits. Came through Ellis Island. Was one of those untold numbers of people that made the trek across the ocean on a boat and one day woke up and saw the Statue of Liberty because they were in the harbor. And he was finally in America. The taller gentleman on his right is one of my mother's many siblings. That gentleman's name is Joseph Gaetano LaFura, my uncle Joe Guy. But yeah, do you guys not understand that people like my grandfather here came into this country by the boatload to melt together to make this country what it is today? This white nationalism, this white Christian nationalism, is old school, oddly enough, to her credit, European fascism. And I think if she wants a white nationalist Christian themed nation to live in, she should relocate to Russia because it already exists just over there. Here, we have all kinds of people, not just white Christians. And that is what has made us grow and be great. That it is not just one group. It has been a melting pot of people, of groups. If you don't like that concept, get the fuck out. Sorry. I needed to woo-saw for a moment and get back to the original point of the video. And that is that if these are the people that are ultimately going to take over this country and slash this world, then I'm glad I got fewer years ahead of me than I have behind me, and I feel bad for my children and grandchildren who are going to be the ones that have to fight these fucking idiots for the remainder of their lives. Maybe we should let the country split in two. Maybe there should be a northern country and a southern. Maybe there should be. I don't know. All I know is that these people aren't the least bit interested in coexisting, and I don't see a reason to reach across the aisle and try to work on a bipartisan matter with them. So maybe the time has come that the United States should split in two.